Hi there, Manuel here. So retail trading Forex. Can you make money as a retail trader? Well, the answer to that is yes, you can, but very few people do. 3% to 5% of retail traders actually make money. The majority, 95% to 97% of retail traders lose money. And there's a reason for that. Do you know what I mean? So firstly, let me just quickly explain what is a retail trader. Retail trader is probably most people that try and learn this thing. Most of them are retail. You know, the difference between a retail is like, say you and I, we trade on our laptops, or maybe you trade off a phone or something like that. You're not trading with these massive accounts like the banks who are trading in millions, or the institution. If you're an institutional trader where you're hedge funding and things like that, that's a different type of trading. Retail traders, most retail traders, like you and I, want to learn this thing because we've heard about Forex. We've heard how Forex can make us so much money and it's so easy. All you got to do is either buy or sell. You know what? It can't be that hard. And then you hear all these other people telling you how they've made millions in Forex, and you think, you get on the charts and you think, right, I want to make some money. And what most people do when they try to learn Forex, they go to YouTube and they go and get some free strategy that they learn. And then they try and, come onto charts and try and learn how to trade. This is a bit like a doctor, a surgeon reading a book and then coming on and trying to learn how to do it. This is why most people fail. Or some might go and buy a course. I actually bought a course. I learnt the free way first, then I bought a course. My sister and I bought a course, and this is how they taught us here. I'm going to show you. Yeah, this course costs us £30,000, which is about $40,000, to teach us what I'm going to show you right here now, and teach you all these so-called retail trading strategies that you're taught. They teach you these strategies. I'm going to show you the patterns that they teach you in a minute. They teach you these patterns, and then they teach you to use indicators to find out when you're most likely to get the trade correct. So you've got you hardly can see the charts because you've got all this stuff in the way, and this is the tiny little bit of the chart here, and they teach you all these patterns. Here are the patterns that most retail traders learn. Now, if you're a retail trader, you probably know what these are. Double top, double bottoms, head and shoulders, horizontal channels, all these sorts of stuff that you're taught to then go on a chart and trade. And now banks and these kind of institutions, they put these patterns out there. They're traps. This is the way they make their money, by gaining what they call liquidity. Now don't worry about all this sort of stuff. Do you know what I mean? Because if you're interested, I'm actually going to show you in a little while how to get access to my 10-part free video training course. It's going to show you exactly the way we trade. It'll show you the way we find trades on the chart. And it's in a 10-part video course that's free. And if you get the course, as well as that, you're also going to get access to the people I trade with who are 5, 6, 7-figure traders. And you're going to get free training if you're interested in it for a week. Free training where you can pick their brains, you can ask them about the strategy, you can ask questions, and they'll show you everything about the strategy. But I'm going to tell you a little bit more about that in a second. But firstly, I want to kind of continue with these patterns. So these are patterns that you're shown, and then you go on charts and try and find these patterns and trade them. So say let's see this head and shoulders, for example. Yeah. So here we go. Here's a nice head and shoulder. There's a head, there's a shoulder, there's a shoulder. It's a reversal pattern, and you wait for this sort of thing to happen, necklines, and then you trade off necklines and things like that. Do you know what I mean? Or another thing that we were taught is trend line. A lot of people are taught these trend lines, these lines that we put on the chart that, we think are real lines, and the price is literally bouncing off it. So bounce, 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 and then you trade off the third or fourth bounce, whatever it is. Now, like I said, you can make money as a retail trader. The only thing is that the type of risk to reward, the amounts they make are quite low. When we were taught this strategy here, we were taught to get into a trade and you try and go for 1 to 2. Yeah. So what that means is this. So you'll be risking like 1% of your trade to get 2 back. So that much to get that much back. Yeah. And we tried to do that within 2 weeks. You know, so if you got a 1 to 2 within 2 weeks, you would have done well. So you risk 1% of your account to get 2 back. This is retail way. Our group that I'm with now, we try to go for 1 to 3, 1 to 5. Yeah. So you risk 1% to get 5% back. You know, so it would be things like this. So say the trend line bounce. Once it's bounced off there and it starts to move off, you might think, okay, lovely. It's bouncing off this line again. I'm going to buy it. I'm going to put my stop loss under there. And this one might have worked out, because occasionally some of them are going to work out. But then say you went for the next one up here now, the next bounce. This one, unfortunately, would have raided. So the win that you got here, you would have lost there. And the thing about it is they have to give you some wins. You have to get some wins. Otherwise you wouldn't do it. This is what keeps retail traders in the game. It's like gamblers. They say that if you go to a casino, they have to give you at least 1 win in 6 to keep your interest up. You know, if you went to a casino and you just lost every single trade, even if you was a hardcore gambler, eventually you would leave that casino because you think, I'm not winning anything. But they have to give you 1 in 6 to keep you in the game. You know, but most of the time you'll get that 1 win and then you'll just get completely wasted. I mean, like, I saw something like this here has got an example of a lot of stuff in here. I just want to finish with the patterns though. But look, this pattern here, horizontal channel, shows really nicely here. Look at this. Lovely horizontal channel here. You see that? Then we have these other things that we were taught. Support resistance. Let me just move this. Yeah, so support resistance. This is a lot. Look at this lovely support line. Bounce, came, bounce, like this kind of line that price just doesn't seem to be able to break. You know, and imagine now you were retail trading this from somewhere like there. After seeing all these lovely touches here, touch, most retail traders would have been loading up this trade from here to bounce and go off again, you know, because it can't seem to break through this line. And unfortunately, you know, they would have been crying because it just raided down and just raided out their money. And, you know, it's a horrible bloodbath. I mean, think of all the ways they would have lost on this chart alone. There's the trend line bounces. So bounce, got in here. If you'd got in here, nice little win there. But then if you tried to get in here, tiny little move, and you would have lost that one. Boom, gone through. Then some people trade what they call the break and retest. So it's breaking this imaginary trend line. It's come up now to kind of retest it. You would have waited till it got near this line. You would have got ready to sell it. And what would have happened? You've gone through, raided, took all your money there, and then dropped. And then all the people that were waiting down here now for this support line bounce. Again, maybe even win a tiny little bit here, but then ended up getting raided out there. And because people don't work on anything but a strategy, they never work on anything else, just the strategy, then they, you know, imagine you've had all these losses now. Loss, maybe 1 win there, loss this one, or a tiny little win there, then another loss. Now you've got all this money, you're looking at your account, you're in the negative, the price is moving down, you're thinking, oh, what do I do? You get into this fear of missing out, and you just wait till the price is down here. You see this big red move here, and you think, I'm going to sell it because it must be going down. It's been going down. You've been panicking all this way. You get in here for a sell, and what does it do? That's the end of the trend. It turns around and it just will rage you out again. So it's just a horrible little bloodbath. And the reason for most of this is because retail traders aren't taught to trade correctly. They're not taught the 3 major pillars of a successful trader. There's 3 pillars to a successful trader. We have the strategy, and this is what most people learn, just the strategy. So this strategy would have been ours. You know, look at this, double top, nice break touch of the double top. That's all they would have been looking at. You know, there's also a trading plan. You know, there's a plan to this thing, and then there's also your mindset. And as most people, hardly any trading platforms or pay, even this 30 £30,000 course didn't even touch on mindset at all. Not once. They didn't look at the mindset at all. And this is, you need all three of the pillars. You know, yes, you need a strategy. You need to know where to buy, where to sell. But you also need a plan. And you also need, the plan is you stick to it every time. If my plan is going to be I buy off a trend line. So every single time it comes and touches the trend line, I buy off the trend line. Do you know, I don't just start changing things or I have a set time of the day that I trade, you know, like a session that I trade, like the UK session or the whatever, you know, the US session. I have that set. I also have a money management. How much of my account am I going to risk? And that stays the same every single time. You know, and then we do that consistently, time after time after time, till we hone our craft, until we get a slight edge over the market. But what most retail traders do, they trade emotionally because they haven't worked on their mindset. So, you know, they, like I said, they lose here, they have a winner. So because it's so emotional and you live and die by every trade. So your emotions are up. Yes, I've won. And then suddenly it's down, and then it's down again when you lose again. And then you chase trades because you have the fear of missing out, because you haven't worked at all on your mindset. And then eventually you just end up losing. And then you think, all right, it's the strategy. It's a scam. I need to go and change the strategy and find someone else, you know, because these two pillars are not looked at. Imagine a stool with only one leg. It will fall down, which is what happens with most retail traders, you know. Just want to show you the difference then between this trade here. This is a trade that I would have taken in, you know, my old days of trading this retail stuff, and compared to the trade, this is the same trade we actually took in the group I'm going to give you access to if you want from my videos. So here, double top, nice touch on double top. But now the only other thing with retail trading, they have indicators. They wait on indicators to tell them when to get in. So the double top would have happened here. Now we're waiting on the indicators. The CCI, we wait for this to cross the 100. Not quite there, on its way down, moving nicely. Great, not quite reached it yet. The MACD is crossed, and we wait for the three red peaks. 1, 2, that's what we were taught. 1, 2, this third red peak hasn't quite formed yet, so we've got to wait a little while. But it's kind of crossed and it's coming down, so looking good. The RSI, we say it crosses this 50 line. Hasn't quite done it yet, but it's getting close. Stochastic crosses this 80 line and starts to head down, so that looks like it's just about doing it now. So that's a good sign. And then volume, we want it to be increasing while this is going down. So this is looking good. So the indicators are looking good for this sell. But by the time all these get to, because they're what we call lagging, they're behind the price. So by the time these all happen, this price will probably be halfway down here. So we would have missed all of this move. And price is getting ready to turn around when we're thinking about selling it, when all the indicators say sell. Here's the difference. The same trade, trading off the strategy that we use. This is a box. It already pushed out of the box. It's already reached and touched. And we've already been in this trade and it's on the move. So this is what I was talking about, 1 to 5. Risking this 1% here to get 5. Hasn't quite reached that here yet, but even where it is now, that's a 1 to 4. A 1 to 4 off one trade. A 1 to 4 would have been a month's worth of trading in this strategy here. If I'd got a 1 to 4 in a month, I would have thought I'd done really, really well. Difference now is we're getting 1 to 4 off one trade. When you know high probable areas of where the banks are coming and you don't fall into all these types of traps, and you look at the 3 pillars of a successful trader, not just one, you know. So I hope that helps. I hope you got some value from that. Like I said, I've actually got a 10-part free video course that if you want access to that, all you got to do is just click this link below. Yeah, and you can get completely free access to that course. And once you're on the course, you're also going to be offered a chance to come and trade with, like I said, the people I trade, which are 5, 6, 7-figure earners that trade this strategy. Yeah, that trade this strategy. We call it the banker strategy. They trade this and they're going to show you exactly what they're doing in that training. It's a training that goes on every day. You know, you get on, it starts Monday, 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and you get on hour and a half on the webinars, and you can ask questions, you can copy their trades, you can see what this strategy is about. You know, you see the difference between normal retail trading strategies and what we do, you know. So I hope you got some value from that. I'd love to hear from you. I'd love to hear, you know, your retail experiences. You know, are you winning with retail, or are you also finding it a struggle? Are you trying to use these patterns and it's not working out for you? Do you know what I mean? I'd love to hear some of your sort of stuff, or any questions, anything you have, anything you want to talk about. Please just leave it in the comments box below. If you are getting value from these videos and you want to subscribe, then there'll be a subscribe button below. And also, if you click on the subscribe button, don't forget to also tick on the bell icon as well. One thing I'm going to leave you with, and the major thing really with most retail trading strategies or retail traders miss, is patience. You know, you got to wait. It takes time. You know, this is a skill. Imagine, like I said, if you was a surgeon, you wouldn't go and read a book and then go and start operating on someone. It takes time to learn this. It also takes time to wait for certain things to happen on charts. Warren Buffett, you know, famous trader, said the stock market is a device for transferring money from the impatient to the patient. So, you know, it takes time to learn this, but once you get it, it's one of the highest paid skills on the planet, once you fall into that 3%. Anyway, listen, I do hope you got some value from this. If you did, please take a second, just give it a thumbs up. Also share it with anyone else you think gets some value from it as well. You know, like I said, anything you want to talk about, any comments, leave it in the comments box below. And if you're interested in that 10-part course, links will be below. All right, once again, thanks for listening. Till next time, take care. Speak to you soon. All the best.